if you get near enough to it, then it will trigger this dialogue. Yee, look at that horrible cloud! It's gonna rain! Oh, my poor mane and tail! We've got to find shelter! Shelter! We're gonna get wet! And of course, Twilight, as usual, is exasperated by her friend's antics. But it's been raining this whole time! We're already bundled up in rain gear and as wet as we're ever going to get! And Applejack is... she's one of the sensible ones, too. No time to talk sense into any pony, Twilight. We've got some serious cloud busting to do. And that triggers monsoon, change to the weather. As you can see, the cloud slowly travels to the left until it reaches this cloud up here, which has a continuous lightning bolt. That's something that is meant to box the player in. I will be talking about that soon. The cloud over here received a message that says start dropping that lightning bolt, and it will not stop. And as you can see, the cloud went down, then back up, and now it's traveling back over to the right. And once it reaches this other boundary cloud up here, then again, it will descend until it reaches a certain point. And once it reaches that point, then it will rise back up and again move on to the left. And it's just going to continue to move around the boundaries of this play area, this boss arena that I have created with those lightning bolts. And it'll do so until and unless I deplete its hit points to 0. Obviously, it doesn't have any attacks yet, and until and unless it gets some of those attacks, it is not going to be very good. And this is something here that I made a mistake with. The idea is that it's supposed to travel to the center of the arena, and once it's at the center, then it dies, drops those gemstones, and actually I want a sort of a ghost of it to rise upwards. But that's something that I haven't implemented yet. But you can see that as soon as you kill the boss, these boundary clouds stop firing. So that's what I have so far. It's kind of a blank slate when it comes to attacks. And in this video, I'm going to fill in that blank slate. And it's worth noting that each one of the different movements, movement to the left, sinking on the left, rising to the left, moving to the right, sinking on the right, rising to the right, each one of those is a different behavior, and different behaviors can have different attacks in them. So I can have different attacks depending on where the Quartzy Cloud boss is, what it's doing, and where it's going. So for move left, I think I want to set things up so that it sort of simulates rain. So that's going to be some fireball attacks. So I'm going to call this one Rain Simulacrum 1. The trigger condition should be randomly. I will give it a 1-second cooldown. And I think I want this to be a little bit more frequent than the twin fireball attack from before. So I'll make it, pick a number 1 to 50 if it's 3 or less. Well, actually I should make it 2 or less. And the mathematics of that makes more sense to say pick a number between 1 and 25. If it's 1, then fire the attack. That's basically the same as putting 50 down here in the denominator and 2 in the numerator. So add a sub-attack. I think I'm going to want 3 of these. They're all going to be fireballs. Let's see. 0 and 0 would put it here. I think I want it to be further down, so let's try 100. A little too far down, let's try 90. Let's make it 80. That'll be a little bit better. Initial X vector. I think I want this central one to not travel horizontally, so absolute is the only one of these that makes sense, really. Setting the fireball to bounce will make it interesting. I'll have the fireball be blue. Initial Y vector. Let's go with 12. It's going to shoot the fireball straight down. 1, and I will give it the water damage element. Again, those don't do anything yet, but they will. I think I'm going to have 3 fireballs. 1 here, and 1 over here. Let's see. And then I'll add another sub-attack. Again, it will be a fireball. So, let's see. Since I want it to be way over on the left here, I'll give it -200. Spawn point offset, 80 again, and that's a little bit too far, I think. Let's try 170. Okay, that's good. Initial X vector, I'm going to give it a slight X vector and have it go towards the player. Again, it's going to bounce. Blue. It's only once all of these fields are filled in, the spawn point offsets and the vectors, that it actually starts animating where that fireball is going to be. So let's make it -12 and oops. Oh, I gotta see that again. Goes up, falls back down. It's not what I was imagining. Let's see, it will go towards the player. That just has it going to the right since there's no player simulated in this preview. And once again, I want the element to be water, give it an attack damage amount of 1. I think I'll add a 3rd sub-attack here. Again, it'll be a fireball. Want the spawn point to be way over here, so let's try 170 and 80. A little bit too far. Let's try 150. That'll do. X vector is 2, Y vector is 12. It started that preview while I still had 1 in here, so yeah. I'm going to say that it's going to go in movement direction. This time I won't have the fireball bounce. The damage amount will be 1, elemental effect will be water. Click OK, preview the entire sub-attack, and it's raining. You know, maybe I should have silver be one of these. Well, there's potential for a lot of these attacks, so I can have silver some other time. I'm just going to click OK on this, click OK on this, and on the main one I will save it. I'm going to call it Quartzy Cloud 11 for now, and I'm doing this just so that we can preview what that attack looks like. So I'm loading up Quartzy Cloud here. I will unpause this when it is loaded. They're everywhere. Whew. Ow. Okay, so yeah, it is in fact raining. It stops as soon as it gets to that that behavior where it's sinking. One of the reasons why I have these platforms and these boxes in the middle, they didn't used to be here back when I had a rainbow elemental boss. One of the main reasons why I have that is to block some of their attacks. I guess now's a good time to start looking at some of the other attack possibilities that there are, and there are a lot of them. It's kind of hard to know where to begin with all the possibilities. Let's see. I think that rain attack is enough for moving left. For descending left, here's another idea. Let's see. I think I want to show you guys the directed ThundeRay. And in this case, let's see, I think I want to use, let's see, a blue, well, maybe not a blue one. Let's go with electric colors and have the full spectrum here. Now, I'd like this to fire from a point that is sort of, well, over here-ish, maybe further. This NPC is so large that you can't really see everything, and even if you could, I think that I have it hard-coded so that the lightning bolts stop somewhere along the perimeter here. So this is going to be a little bit awkward with the size of this NPC. Hey, here's an idea. I'll have it fire out of the NPC's eye. That's a great idea. So, Let's see. First of all, the spawn point. Let's try 50 and 0. Huh, that's strange. I don't have a little flashing X like I do with the fireballs. Oh well. Let's give it 1 damage. The duration, I'm going to set the duration to 0 so that it's continuously firing. I want the player to have plenty of warning that this is coming. So let's go with this. Okay, now I can see the spawn point now that everything's in place. Let's try 60, 70. That'll do, but it needs to be a little bit further down. Let's try 22, 16. That works. Targeting right to the wall. Alright, let's see. The spawn point moves with NPC. I think I should check that one. Target moves with NPC doesn't really have any meaning when you use down to floor, up to ceiling, right to wall, or left to wall. So let's go with right to wall. The target vectors really don't have any meaning when you pick these either. So keep it at right to wall, set the element to storm damage. Okay, I think that's going to be enough. And I will show you why I chose these particular parameters pretty soon. Let's see. Trigger condition upon entering behavior, that's what I want. Click OK. What's going to end up happening is, and when the NPC is over on the left, the NPC will continuously descend with that lightning bolt firing. And if it touches the player, then obviously the player is going to take damage. So the player is supposed to hide behind those rain boxes. And I believe I put that under descend left. Yep, I put that under descend left. So click OK there. And save it. It's actually February when I'm saving these, not December of 2019, so it's pretty weird. Save it as Quartzy Cloud 12, no need to pack it. And now I have the pleasure of loading that up. And pause the recording. So it's not going to be totally effective. And I hadn't even planned that. I hadn't even planned that the last one in the bunch is going to be the one... Oof! Ow. What the heck? It damaged me twice? I don't see how that was possible. I am going to need to see that again. When I'm on this side of it, it shouldn't be able to damage me. That may be a bug that I'll have to fix. We shall see. Let me pause the recording. Alright, it is now back to that behavior. Now let's see what happens. Going down. Zaps the wall, zaps me. That is specifically not supposed to happen. I'm going to need to fix that bug. But the idea is that when you have down to floor, up to ceiling, right or left to wall, the bolt will continue until it hits the wall and then it will stop. That's the idea behind it. I'm going to have to do some more experimentation here to see what the deal is. I have obviously run into a bug, but at least what I've got so far does explain how left to wall, right to wall works.